Hey, how's it going? If I look any bit more ill, tired, hay fever ridden, that's because I am hay fever ridden. Sneezing, coughing, by streaming the works all morning because I've had no meds. Essentially, I've had no meds until like literally this morning. So yeah, it's been pretty rough, you know. If I get any comments that are like, oh, this guy, there's people starving in Africa and this guy's complaining about the sniffles, I'm gonna, yeah, I don't have the energy to have an argument with anyone. Alright, today we're gonna be catching up with the Immortal Hulk. A lot of people have been saying that this is one of the best things going on at Marvel at the moment, and yeah, I agree. I can see that. So, issue 1, I liked a lot. I think it was my pick of the week that week that it came out. Issue 2. It was at the bottom of the stack the week that came out. It was the bottom. It was the worst book of that week. Issue 4, which is where this starts. Issue 4 is awesome, and it continues that trend up until issue 11. It's Immortal Hulk. Al Ewing just knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing with the Hulk. He knows what he's doing. Right. The Hulk, to preface, is now smart. He's now intelligent. He's not like Bruce Banner intelligent. Like the book explains that he's more intelligent than the Hulk, than Bruce Banner. Like the Hulk is more intelligent than Bruce Banner, apparently. But, like, he's more instinctive than Bruce Banner. And apparently it's always been this way. It's just now that he's, like, actually fully, like, reached his peak. So, yeah. It basically starts with this reporter, Jackie McGee, who's, of course, stolen her name from the 70s show. She gets in this member of Alpha Flight called Walter Langowski, who's also the Sasquatch. He's the Sasquatch. And they go to a bar where he gets stabbed by these two that are having an argument. And he gets rushed into hospital, seemingly dies. Bruce Banner shows up and he's like, yeah, he ain't dead. He's about to turn into the Sasquatch, and the Sasquatch has been like infected with a demon, and you need to let me in there so I can go help. Next issue comes along, and it's just the knockdown drag out fight between the Sasquatch, who's been like infected with a demon, and the Hulk. The Hulk later finds out that the demon that's infested the Sasquatch is actually Bruce Banner's dad. Or it's taking the form of Bruce Banner's dad. So that makes the Hulk even more angry. And yeah, they have a fight, and the Hulk ends up like absorbing all of the gamma radiation that's inside of the Sasquatch and turning him back into Walter Langowski, and we don't actually know if the Sasquatch is going to like be around anymore because he's had all the gamma sucked out of him, so you know. Then we're introduced to a like shadow operation called the Shadow Base, and they are in talks with they're in talks with Alpha Flight, which is the team that Sasquatch was from, and they basically say to Carol Danvers, look, we need one of two things. We need you to take down the Hulk and give him to us, or we'll just arrest Walter Langowski and put him on death row. Of course, Carol Danvers then chooses option A, and she assembles the Avengers to take down the Immortal Hulk. The Avengers and the Hulk have a massive fight, and the Avengers win, barely. Thor gets taken out immediately, along with Jen Walters and Ghost Rider. Cap and Black Panther are like, look, Tony, don't use that big, massive weapon. Don't use it. And then Tony's like, I'm going to use the big, massive weapon. Carol, Steve, and T'Challa are like, no, don't use it. And then he uses the big, massive weapon and wipes out the whole city. And then Bruce Banner's just a pile of ash. He's like, look, Bruce Banner's dead until night. And then the Hulk comes out because the night is his time. And so, which leads us to issue 8, where Bruce Banner's body has been like cut up, and it's in jars, and each like organ and part of his body is like a jar. And then when night falls, those parts of the body turn into the Hulk's body, and we find out that this scientist that's like doing these experiments on the Hulk, he's trying to dissect DNA out of the Hulk so he can build an army of Hulks. So instead of, being dead, because of course it's called the Immortal Hulk and the Hulk cannot die now, he instead telepathically makes every part of his body reattach to him, surrounding around this scientist guy, and he escapes. So then this shadow base employs Carl Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man, but they give him some of the Hulk's DNA, so he can now, if he makes any contact with the Hulk, he can now take some of the gamma energy. Carl Creel and the Hulk have a fight, and Carl Creel wins. But when he wins, he turns into this kind of, he absorbs so much gamma radiation that he gets transported to hell and becomes this demon thing where his arms are ripped in half, and it's only his spine and a skull there left. And then the Hulk has to fight this husk of Carl Creel that's left, and Hulk wins, but barely, and then the whole world is enveloped in this hell thing. Meanwhile the Hulk is being hounded by both Shadow Base, which has sent their most trusted assassin to kill the Hulk, Bushwhacker, of all people. First of all, the name Bushwhacker, that's not threatening at all. And I talked about this when I reviewed a Daredevil issue that had Bushwhacker in it. It's not who's going to be scared of a villain called Bushwhacker? And what's Marvel's thing with having street level villains being named after bushes? Moon Knight has a villain called Bushman. Luke Cage has a villain called Bushmaster, and Daredevil and the Punisher have a villain called Bushwhacker. what? Why bushes, man? Why bushes? But anyway, Hulk's getting hounded by these guys, but he's also got to fight Carl Creel, and he's also got Alpha Flight, 2 members of Alpha Flight. He's got Puck, this reporter woman, Jackie McGee, who's still a thing. She's still like, you know, there's hell everywhere. There's like superhuman beings, but yeah, I've still got to get my story for the local newspaper. It's like, yeah, I get that you're dedicated to your craft, but also like know when you're in too deep as well. And I think dealing with the Hulk and hell literally enveloping the world, you're in too deep for a local newspaper. And yeah, the world is enveloped by hell, essentially. And whilst in this like version of hell, there's zombie versions of dead people that are like Hulk's like supporting cast that he's been the reason of the death of. So first have Rick Jones, but the Hulk realizes that this is like just a hollow husk of a body. Then General Ross shows up, but the Hulk at this time didn't realize or didn't know that Thunderbolt Ross has died. So he's like, what? You're not dead. You're not meant to be dead. Are you dead? And then General Ross turns into a demon version of the Red Hulk, and they have a fight. Meanwhile, Puck is talking to the Absorbing Man, who somehow isn't dead after this whole ordeal of being torn in half, having your spine literally become like a raggedy thing. And, you know, just becoming a demon for like, must have been like an hour at least, that Carl Creel was a literal demon. And somehow he's still alive, and Puck's like, look, you're the key to this actually happening. You caused all this. You're gonna help set this all right. And that's basically the end of the issue. And at the centre of all of this is Brian Banner, Bruce Banner's dad. And apparently he's managed to find a way to separate both the Hulk and Bruce Banner, which is a storyline that's been done before. It's been done several times before, and you know, I think it's interesting now because it is like Bruce Banner's dad that's done it, and he's like, it's basically he's the embodiment of Satan, essentially. Completely different to the 2003 movie where he was the Absorbing Man. But no one cares about the 2003 Hulk movie. It wasn't good at all. But you know what is good? The Immortal Hulk. It's so crazy, it's so out there that, you know, me explaining it, I didn't really do it justice. It is a really cool book. It's essentially just putting the Hulk, it's basically just like, you know, if the Hulk was a Stephen King novel, essentially. And I think it really fits, because where did the Hulk, like, find his roots from? What actually was the Hulk inspired by? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein's monster, you know, horror titles. So why not turn the Hulk into a horror book? I don't know why that hasn't been done before, and now it's being done, and I love it. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, you know where to go. Why are you still watching? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Usual links will be in the description below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. How many times do I have to say in the next video?